everybody, this is Mike with the One Stop Co-op Shop, and today I'm looking at a game that'll be on crowdfunding Tuesday. This is Blade Rondo from Japanime Games. And as always, you receive no compensation for our crowdfunding coverage. We just want to help you make an informed decision. And if you like the content on the One Stop Co-op Shop, consider supporting us through Patreon. You get early access to our videos and exclusive videos every month. I've been doing a series where I talk about every game I've ever played for a specific company and rank them. We also have a separate streaming channel with like amazing content every week, 4 or 5 or 6 new videos over there. We also have a weekly podcast and a Discord where you can come and talk to us and suggest games. Lots of great ways to get involved. But let's dig into Blade Rondo. So first of all, to mention a few things about the game. The cards I'm using, these are a fan-translated version of the game, so like some of the text doesn't actually match the version that's being ported over by Japanime from Japan. And yeah, unfortunately, they weren't able to get me a physical prototype in time, so I had to do it on TTS, and I had to import the bosses myself for the solo mode. So, this has been a labor of love for me, but I wanted to show the game off and play it. But the really interesting thing about this game is that it's sort of 5 separate individual releases, and each of them has their own unique deck of cards, these actions I'll be showing you in a second, and also has its own unique solo mode. Now, they are kind of similar. The one I'm going to show you today, which is the only one I've played for the base set, or sorry, not the base set, because they can all be standalone, but for the Blade Rondo set, is sort of a boss rush mode, where you're trying to survive through 5 bosses. But then there's also like a pyramid battle mode. There's also 2, or actually I think 3, individual bosses where they play with like kind of more AI and like act like an actual opponent. So if you get all the sets, there's lots of ways and you can kind of mix and match and try out all the solo modes. But again, I'm going to show you like the most basic set, Blade Rondo, and the boss rush mode there. But the basic idea of the game for solo and competitive is that you each have 15 life at the beginning of the game, and whoever takes away all of their opponent's life first wins. Like I said, this is a combat card game. You know what to expect. And the action of the game is driven by action cards and by voltage. At the beginning of every turn, the current player will increase their voltage by 1, although in the solo mode we're playing, the boss does not have any voltage. And this will become basically the amount of energy I have to spend for the turn. And that'll correspond to these action cards in my hand. So each player starts with 7 action cards, and those are their action cards for the entire game. And in this boss rush mode, these are the action cards for all 5 bosses. And the key thing we're looking at here is in the upper left, this cost in green. The total cost of all the cards I play into my play area cannot exceed my current voltage. In the following turn when I had 2, I could play 2 1-cost cards or 1 2-cost card. It feels a bit like Hearthstone for those who have played that one, in that like your bigger cards come out later. It's a pretty nice system. Now let's get into the cards themselves. First of all, you've got breath control cards, which I have over here right now. And players always have the exact same 2. There's a forging technique, although it's not called that in the official release. That costs 1 and it adds 1 to your attack die. So basically for 1 of my voltage from a turn, I can put this over into my play area in front of me, and I increase my attack die by 1, so now it's 1. This is going to be the amount of damage I deal with physical attacks, which will come from my cards. And the other breath control card is focused on defense, but it works a little bit differently. You'll see the cost is X. Instead of increasing your attack 1 at a time, like the red card does, you spend as much voltage as you want, as much of your mana, and your defense goes to that exact value. So it's kind of a waste to do it turn after turn, but like at certain points in the game, you want to increase it. And attack is opposed by defense. So if I did a physical attack right now with my 1 attack and them having 0 defense, they would take 1 damage. Let's say they had, 5 attack and they attacked me. My 2 defense would prevent 2 of the damage, so I would take 3. 5 minus 2 equals 3. And breath control cards go back to your breath control area at the end of each of your turns. They are usable over and over again to increase your defense or to keep on boosting your attack. And then looking at one of the cards in my hand, like here, the Gaura Miasma, although again, I'm sure all these names will change and like the text of the effects. But this one has a cost of 2, and you'll see that there is no L underneath. And compare that to this Calamity Sealing Agate card. There is an L underneath the name next to the cost. And the difference is I can play either of these to my play area, but cards without the L, just like the breath control cards, are reusable. It's going to come back to my hand. But cards with the L are limited or lost. I'm not really sure what the L stands for. They're single use, basically. So after they're used, they go to kind of like a trash area, basically out of the game. Although in the boss rush mode, you will get them back for the next boss. And there are a few types of cards. I already talked about physical attacks, although I don't have any in this deck. I'll get to what my deck kind of combos are meant to be. But this one says Magic Attack 1 in parentheses. Sorry, it's kind of hard to read on TTS. And magic attacks, unlike physical attacks, totally ignore defense. So if I did that Magic Attack 1, they would just take 1 damage, no questions asked, that's it. And then the other type of card, at least in the basic Blade Rondo set, are, I think they're called gambits in the official language, but here they're called responses. And these, in a competitive game, you pay 1 voltage or 1 energy for a turn and put them face down, and they're kind of like a ticking a trap waiting for your opponent. And then anytime they attack you with a card down here where it says response at the bottom that has like a red and a blue. So generally if they attack you with like a physical or a magic attack, then you can resolve the card doing its effect. Like here you might nullify their attack, cancel it entirely. But if you do that, it goes away. Whereas if the card you played on your turn face down is still face down on the opponent's turn and they never attack or you choose never to use it, it comes back to your hand and does not go away. So they're kind of like little defensive cards that'll hang out until they get used. Now in the, as you're going to see in the solo survivor mode, you know exactly which attacks are coming. So there is no need to like put these face down and, you know, bluff anybody, obviously, because you know what you're doing, but they are still very strong for defense. Now, talking about the solo mode, let's look at one of the bosses. This is the first one. Oh, God, she might kill me. So there's 20 bosses in this version of Blade Rondo. Again, there's like different solo modes and different bosses in each set, but in this 60-card deck, 20 of the cards are the bosses. And first you see what her starting attack and defense value are. Some of the muses, these bosses, will change those values, but in Meltia's case, Meltia, isn't that from something like Shield Hero or something? I don't know. In Meltia's case, she will not change these statistics. So she will have 0 attack and 2 defense the entire game. And then you'll see her actions at the bottom. And sometimes they'll have a bunch of different actions. In Meltia's case, she just does the same action 4 times. It's burn, and it says magical attack, 1 damage. So she is going to, each of her turns, do 4 undefendable damage to me. That's a nightmare until I'm dead. And the last thing to look at for the muses is their initiative value in the upper right. This indicates how many free turns you get before they activate. Another way to track it is if you look at your voltage and it's reached that value, although that's not entirely true because some things can push your voltage up more quickly. But generally speaking, like for Meltia, after my voltage reaches 1, she'll take a turn. So really, she's just acting after me and doesn't miss any turns at all. But some of the stronger muses will give you like 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 free prep turns before they start blasting you. Meltia, not going to be so nice. And the last thing you need to know for solo is the reserve deck. I love this. This is a really cool thing. You've got 15 extra cards. And by the way, how I picked my 7 cards is I drew 15 and then picked 7 of them. So you kind of get like a limited pool of cards to make your combo from. But yeah, the extra 15 cards over here, my reserve, on any turn I can spend 2 voltage to draw 3 of these 15 cards. I keep 1, and the other 2 get trashed forever. And these do not replenish these 15 cards between the 5 bosses. So this is like a finite resource to help me try to defeat these people. And whichever card I get, let's say it was this Dancing Blade card, which would be terrible with my deck, but let's say I pick that, it goes over in your breath control area, and it becomes a reusable card for free as long as your voltage has reached the cost of the card. So like in this case, Demon Blade costs 2, I have 2 voltage, so I can play this for free every single turn, or if it's an L card, 1 time, then it goes away. But either way, it doesn't cost anything. But again, you're limited in playing it until your voltage has reached the right level. So these can be incredibly powerful, and they can save your butt when the boss is just going for you crazy, but you only can use them a certain number of times. It might mess up your boss rush if you use them too early. All right, so with that going, we're going to fight Meltia as our first boss. We'll see if she kills us, and let's talk about my deck, just spend a moment looking at the combos I kind of have prepared. So for this game, I'm going for an all magic deck. So I'm going to totally ignore the enemy's defense and just try to blast them. I've got this 1 cost magic card to do 1 damage. I've got maybe a terrible idea, 2 copies of this 2 cost card that do 3 magic damage, but I take 3 damage to play them. And that happens before they deal their damage. So like if we were both at 3 life, I would die before they would. And then my final magic attack for my 7 cards is magic attack 3, cost 4, but if I have 0 cards in my hand, it's magic attack 6 instead. Pretty much the only way that would happen, since none of these have L, literally all of these are reusable, is if I played all 3 of these on the same turn. So this again might have been a terrible card to take. I'm not 100% confident in this combo, but it's what I saw from the 15 cards I drew, so we're going to try it. Then I did get 3 defenses. This first one says after an attack, if my life becomes 0, I revive with 2 life. So it's just an oh crap, I'm about to die card. Although, man, it is not nearly as good against Meltia as some of the other muses, because instead of her doing like 1 big attack that I would then like kind of nullify with that revive ability, she'll just like plink me again a few more times and finish me off. This other attack, ignore the text as stated, because a couple of these work differently with the solo. Basically, actually, this is great for her. Whichever attack I activate it on, The next turn, not the current turn, but the next turn, it will nullify that attack for every instance of that attack. So I will not cancel 1 burn, I'll cancel 4 burns. So that card is literally buying me an entire round of no damage. Love that. And then the last one, this also works slightly differently in solo. In a competitive game, the person would have to pay 1 more or their attack would get nullified. So you use it when they reach for a really big attack with their last voltage. But in this one, it instead cancels the last attack of the boss. Which again, kind of terrible against Meltia. Gosh, I drew the perfectly wrong muse to start with. But whatever, we'll see how it goes. If I just die immediately, we'll start a new deck and try again. All right, so let's jump right into the first round. First, I'm going to increase my voltage by 1. And then I think I'll have time for defense later. I'm just going to plink her for 1 damage. Super useful. So she's down to 14, first blood. And then since this card does not have an L next to the cost, it is coming right back to my hand to be able to plink her again later. We're going to her turn. She's burn, 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 burn. Disco Inferno, 4 damage. Death. Oh my gosh. Oh, this is so bad. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Everything is fine. I'm going to die. Everything's great. All right, so it comes back to my turn. I go up to 2 voltage, and I don't know. I do have to get some defense going. So let's play the one that will do nothing this turn, but will totally cancel all 4 of her attacks next turn. So I'll basically be sitting at 7 for the next 2 rounds. And then, oh yeah, 1 more magic damage. Boom! There, she's down to 13. Not as low as I am. All right, and then she hits me for 4 again. But I am sealing away that attack for next round. She will do nothing the next turn. Yay! All right, going to 3 voltage, and what can I do? Kill myself with my stupid, why'd I take these damaging myself attacks? You know what I'm actually going to do? Because this is going terribly. I'm going to go and use the reserve for 2 voltage, then I guess I can plink her with magic again. So let's see what I got. Ooh, so this, they spelled rampaging wrong. Again, in the real release, I'm sure they won't. But this is a summon. It actually, once you play it, it stays in play and keeps on doing its attack at the beginning of every one of your turns. This one would do 10 physical attack every turn. But I'm not going to survive until I get to 6 power to spend. And yeah, so that's not worth it. This one, +3 defense until the end of the turn. Defense does not stop her magical skullduggery, no. And then finally, okay. This one, totally cool. So I can use this for free on any turn, and the turn that it actually defends, and my life goes down to 0, it will get discarded for good. So this is great. Sort of. I mean, it's not great. It is something. And both of these ones are gone forever. I'm down to 12 reserve cards. That was only 2. Yeah, we're doing 1 magic damage. And on her turn, she's sealed away. No attacks at all. That's the one good thing that's happened. But sadly, this is a limited card, so I don't get to use it anymore. All right, so I'm up to 4 voltage. So I guess I'll do my 3 magic attack. Why did I take these ones that hurt me? They're such a waste. That gets her down to 9. But then she is burning me to 3. Next turn I'll die, but I do have this to keep me alive. So that's something. That's definitely something. But my magic attack comes back. Okay. So I go up to 5. I can put this into play for free since it's from the reserve. I will survive. Oh, I will survive. Please survive. Okay, so I'll do my 3 magic attack, and then I've got 1 voltage because this was free. So let's do my 1 magic attack as well. That's hitting her for 4 now. Oh man, so wait, can I do this? She's down to 5. Oh man. Okay, that's cool. Remember, if I had some way to get rid of all the cards in my hand, this would be 6 magic damage, but no, not happening. All right, then she burns me 1, 2, 3 times. Wait! I reset to 2 life, but then she still had 1 burn left, so, oh gosh. All right, so all I gotta do is survive this turn, I think. Okay, so if I go up to 6 voltage, let's see, so that would... Okay, she hits me for 1 damage. I'll go back to its 2 life, but then she's still got 3 attacks left, so that would more than kill me. Oh man, even if I use this one that cancels her last attack, so I could basically, that saves me 3 damage, but I need to save 4. Crap. Okay, I gotta go to my reserve again. These are my first 2, so I still got 4 left, if I want to use my spell to attack. I need something awesome to save me here. Okay, that would nullify her last attack. Give me +2 attack. Oh, and that would have sealed away her attack, but I have to survive until the next turn. Yeah, and plus physical attack is not going to help at all. I guess this one is the best I can do. And yeah, I think with that and both the other defenses, I will survive, right? Let's see, I think so. So I'll take this. These both are trashed. Yeah, and you know Mike's built some bad combos when he goes into the reserve twice against the first boss and still might lose. Okay, so that one's free, but I've spent 2 of my 6 voltage. And then this one to bring me back to 2 life. This one, oh, shoot. Oh, shoot. Oh, I thought the mist weaving thing would save me, but they both just cancel the bottommost attack. They don't like cancel the bottom 2 attacks. I gotta dig into the reserve again. Okay, so I'm down to 2 voltage after this. I'm down to 2 voltage. Good Lord. Okay, just give me, yes. I think I see there's some, okay. Look, gain 4 life. That's it. That's the card I needed. That one would give me an extra voltage. That accelerates your voltage. This one is a physical attack. I have to increase my physical. Get out of here. So yeah, immediately playing this one for free. So that'll get me up to 5 life. Now I can't die. So that was 2, 4 voltage. I guess I don't need to play this one now because I'm not dying. So actually, I'll keep this free one because I've just got like 2 random power left. I'll put this other one that cancels her last attack, and I'll hit her for 1 damage. I think it gets her within kill range. I think it does. Yeah. Okay, so boom, she's down to 4. Then I get that back. And this one is gone because it wasn't L. Although it's removed from the game entirely. I don't get to like keep these ones that I get from the reserve. Okay, and then she hits me for 3, but I block 1 with this mist weaving thing. But I don't think it even matters because I think I'm just blasting her, right? I think she's dead. So yeah, this one's going to do 3, and this one's going to do 1 more. Boom, I've got more than enough voltage to play it, so I make it after using almost my entire reserve. How embarrassing. So after we beat a Muse, again, you have to go through 5 to like fully win. That's not going to happen this time. Any cards you didn't use from the reserve go away anyway, so like all the reserve cards I could have used are done. But I've still got these 6 left, so I can draw on the reserve 2 more times. I get all of my 7 cards back, including the ones that were limited and I already used up. And our first Muse is defeated. I should mention everything resets, and let's pick our next Muse. All right, what she got? Shanhui, I would guess. 4 attack, that's a lot. 1 defense. She has 3 initiative, so I'm going to get 3 turns before she starts acting. But then, what does she do? Muse's attack increases by 1, that's cross turn, and then she slashes me 3 times. What is up with these multi-attack things? So that means, oh my gosh. So the very first turn, she'll go up to 5 attack and attack me 3 times. So that would be 15 damage if I have 0 defense. So I got to boost my defense this time. I can't ignore it entirely. Besides that, I just got to rush her down and kill her as quickly as I can. So yeah, got to increase some defense. This ceiling one is going to be amazing because it'll cancel an entire turn of all 3 of her attacks. This one, again, not going to be so good. It'll only cancel 1 of her attacks. But then I bring myself back to life. 1 is also going to be decent. Okay, so let's start going. So I'm going to my first voltage. Remember, she only goes after I've done my 3rd voltage turn. And yeah, I mean, there's nothing worth doing except hitting her for 1 damage, right? So boom. She's down to 14. Okay, I go up to 2 voltage. Should I hit her with my hurt myself card? I mean, it will rush her down really quickly. But it'll also rush me down to doom. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Let's try it. It's going to be 3 damage to me. Ouch. And 3 to her. Probably a terrible idea. That one comes back. Then we go up to 3 voltage. And should I just spend it all on defense so I don't entirely die? She'll do 6 damage to me if I spend it all on defense. Gosh, 6 damage. That means, oh my gosh. I can like barely even... Yeah, okay, I don't know. Okay, so I'm doing all 3 defense. And again, just to show it, I'm spending X cost, 3 in this case, to set my defense to 3. That's a breath control, so it'll come right back. That was my 3rd turn, so with her 3 initiative, now she actually is going to increase her attack to 5, and then slash. I'm going to die. So yeah, each of those is 5 attack minus 3 defense, 2, 4. Oh my gosh. I put myself down within instant kill range. Okay. So if she increases her attack to 6 next turn, even 2 attacks will kill me. Oh, man. Man. This is not a great build. Okay, it's fine. I'm going to go to 4 voltage. And, okay. I need to get my ceiling 1 out there to buy me a turn. But I need to survive this turn, which would require both of these. Okay, so I'm playing all of my defenses. Oh, what a waste. And then doing 1 magic damage to her. So I'll get her down to 10. Then on her turn, she goes up to 6 attack. And so with my 3 defense, the first attack does 3 damage. Second attack does 3, kills me, but I revive with 2. The 3rd attack is canceled by this one. And there's the one that revived me. And now this one's going to cancel all her attacks next turn. Thank the Lord. But that's all I got. All right. So I get 5. Yeah, I could raise my defense up, but even though her attacks are canceled, the thing that's boosting her attacks is not going away, so it's not going to save me. So with 5, I could do, I guess, 4 damage to her. The best, yeah, to get her to 6. It's really close to death, but it's not going to be enough. So I'm definitely going to have to dig into the reserve again. But for this turn, whatever. 4 and 1 for 3 plus 1, 4 magic damage. God, these cards are like actively damaging my deck because I can't even clear out my deck to get to that card. Like I should have put some cheap things I could just like get rid of. Oh well. Yeah, it brings her down to 6 life, very close to death. Then on her turn, like I said, her attack goes up to 7, but she does not attack because she was sealed away. But I mean, that's it. That's like, there's no way for me to survive. Oh man. But we can try. Okay, so I'm going up to 6. So if I got like anything that did 2 damage from the reserve, then my remaining 4 mana, no, that still wouldn't be enough. Oh my gosh. 2 of my power for the turn. The old magic damage X. X is equal to half the opponent's current life total rounded up. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Okay, we got like 2 physical attacks. Who cares? Is it enough? Is it enough? Yes. So I do 3 damage to her. That was an L, so it'd be gone, but since it's from the reserve, these are all gone forever. I've got 1 set of cards in the reserve left. But you know what 3 life remaining means? Just enough for my 4 power. I had exactly enough. Because like I had 6, 2 to get that reserve card, 4 to do this. And from the jaws of death, victory! Although man, you gotta wonder, can you call it victory when you've only beaten 2 out of 5 bosses and you have a single draw for the reserve left? I'm so dead. All right, come on. We're gonna finally beat a boss without needing any help. Let's see who it is. Oh my gosh. Actually, you know what? I might have a chance here. I might have a chance. So they have, you can see this one has like a gold background and like her name is kind of in gold. The Priestess of the Ardent Sun, Gondeletica. Again, all these could. Oh, actually, these are the real text. These are like the actual cards, at least the prototype that they have. So like the bosses are correct. Yeah, so these gold ones are like extra hard. So look at this lady. She has 8 attack, 3 defense, but 5 initiative. I get 5 turns before she does anything. But when she does stuff, she increases her attack by 2 until the end of the turn, so she'll be at 10. Then she does a regular physical attack, so I could block that one. Then she does another physical attack that you can't respond to, so I couldn't use like my defense cards. Although I guess I could like go to 5 defense and still get walloped. And then she has Undying Legend. If the Muse's life falls to 0, it revives with 2 life, but loses this ability until the end of the mat. So she gets like 1 kind of come back to life thing, just like I have. So the thing is, this might be the only boss, even though this is like a hard mode one, and you can like take these out to modify the difficulty or use more of them or like specifically put some of them at the end of your like gauntlet of 5. You know, it's very flexible in that way. But this might actually be the only boss that like my build is perfect for because I can kill myself to deal more damage faster. I can kill myself to deal more damage faster. So we're going to try to just rush her down before she ever gets to even take a turn. I'm not sure if the math will work out, but we're going to try it. Let's do it. All right, here we go. 1 voltage, and where is it? 1 magic damage, right back to my hand. Okay, 2 voltage, and I don't care. I am doing the damage myself 3, damage her 3, because right now I'm ahead. I'm at 12. She's at 11. Oh, yeah. Okay, and I go to 3 voltage. Okay, so I'm going to do damage myself and her again, and 1 damage. So that's 3 to me. I'm at 9. Oh, this is totally happening, man. This is totally happening. She's at 8 plus 1 more, 7. Is she dead next turn? No, I don't think she is. Ooh, okay. I go to 4. Okay, what do I do now? I think I damage myself twice. Do I? My biggest. Okay, so boom, boom. I'm taking 6. I'm down to 3, so I can't use those anymore. But she's down to 1. Yes. Oh, I have a whole. Oh gosh, I like destroyed her. I'm at 5 because since her initiative is 5, she doesn't go until at the end of my 5th turn. And yeah, let's do 3 damage with my good old standby one and 1 more. I mean, that's more than enough. What is this? The only boss I beat easily was the hardest one. All the other decks I built today while I was practicing to get ready for the video would have been destroyed by that person. This deck just oddly was perfect. Okay, so that's our 3rd boss. Let's go to a 4th. And what's this one? Ooh, it's finally one, yes, that I can use my one skill that blocks one attack. Because look, she's got 5 attack and 3 defense, 1 initiative, so she goes right away with high attack. She only has 1 attack, though. Virulent Knife, physical attack, so we'll be blocked by my defense, but just does 5 damage, and she never increases it, so if I can like find a way to get my defense high enough, I can just kind of neuter her. And then she has Exsanguinate, I think I said that right? That's like taking blood out, right? At the beginning of your turn, if your life isn't at max, lose 1 life. This is me, not her. So, the second she hits me once, I'm gonna be just going down. So yeah, we want to try to avoid that as long as we possibly can, and then get our defense high enough to where like the poison is the only worry, and then we can certainly do a lot of damage to her, hopefully. So she goes right after me. So I think the obvious first play is this one that prevents her bottommost attack, because her only attack is the Virulent Knife. Exsanguinate doesn't count, so she doesn't do anything to me. And since she didn't do anything to me, I'm not poisoned because I'm not below max health. So, okay, I'm going right to 2 voltage, although that was the only chance I got to do that kind of a thing. Now, let's see. I could seal her. Yeah, okay, let's seal her. So I'll take the damage this turn. Should I get some defense? Well, the sealing will be good for next turn. I wish I could have sealed and done the cancel, but clearly I couldn't. I think I'm going to do all defense next turn, so I'm just going to plink her for 1. This is maybe a bad strategy, so boop. All right, and then she responds with a giant 5 damage attack, and I have no defense. But she won't attack me at all next turn, but at the start of my turn, I take 1 damage from the poison or the bloodletting as that happens, but up to 3 voltage. Okay, so I don't have to worry this turn. Next turn, I can go like full defense and almost completely block her out. So for this turn, do I want to use my last? No, I might be able to beat her without using the reserve. Man. Okay, maybe I'm going to go to 3 defense now. I'm going to go to 3 defense now for my entire voltage. And then let her hit me next turn and then go to 5 the turn after and to see if I survive. Okay, so that's all I did this turn. And on her turn, she doesn't do anything. But the start of my turn, again, she's unsealed and I go down to 8 from the blood. And I go up to 4 voltage. And this turn, I'm going to hit her with my basic 3 damage. So she's down to 11. That's not as low as I would like. Then on her turn, she comes back. She hits me for 2, and I bleed down to 1. But now I'm at 5 voltage, so I'm going to go spend everything on 5 defense. So she can't hurt me anymore except through the blood. So I just like have kind of a finite number of turns here, unless I go to the reserve, I guess. Yeah, so she just totally misses me. On my turn, I go to 4, and I'm at 6, and I just got to hit her. I just got to hit her as hard as I can, as often as I can. So let's see. This is going to be 3. Okay, so that's 4 damage. That's the most I can do. But actually, I think I'll barely win this race, won't I? So I go down to 7. I mean, yeah, we can just kind of count it out. I'll go down to 3. I'll hit her again. She'll go down to 3. I'll go down to 2. Ooh, it's not even close. Yeah. All right. All right. So I still have 1 reserve left for the final boss of 5, Dodonna, the Reclusive Ivy. 2/2. She starts acting right away. That's usually not good for my deck. Okay, Black Ritual. Physical attack that I cannot respond to. So that means I can't play like my little canceling cards and stuff. And then Zealous Ritual. Physical attack that I can't use defense against. Ooh. Okay, and then what's she have? Repelling Ward. Place the attacking... Oh my god. Well, I think I'm done with this. Place the card you attack with under this card. For the rest of the match, you may not use this card or any other card with the same name. So I only get to use each attack card once against her. Which... Oh my gosh. Oh, this is just death. I've only got 4 attack cards. And they do, I mean, let's see. 1, like best case scenario, 4, 7, and then if I had no cards left and I played this last 13. So even if I do everything, she won't be dead. All right, so hopefully, I mean, this is pretty much nothing. Like I have no chance, but hopefully that 1 reserve will be great. So yeah, let's try to survive until we can do something. So give her a 2 attack and 2 defense. My first priority is to get to 2 defense to block the first of her attacks. I can't do anything about the second one. Well, I can block it once, right, with my like canceling attack. So I'm going to 1 voltage, and yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to play this one that'll block her cannot be defended against attack, because it is the second one. So she'll hit me for 2 with her can't be responded attack, because I have no defense. But the second one will do a nothing thanks to this. And then for my second voltage, I think I'm just going to spend both on increasing my defense to 2. So now I'm immune from her first attack, so she's going to plink me for 2 damage every turn. And besides that, my main concern is just the fact that I can't hurt her. Okay, so on her turn, yep. And I go to 3 voltage. Should I get like this early to at least know what my options are? Or should I like hit her with my 3 damage things? Yeah, you know what? Whatever. Let's go ahead and just see if these can even help me. So there's 2 of my 3 power for the turn. I need something like that is like a game winning. None of this is good. These are all physical attacks. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Okay, I'm just going to call it. I cannot win this final boss. Dang, almost made it through 5. That was crazy because my deck was not like the best one I've built. Cool. So I'm not going to play through a whole nother gauntlet just to not make this video too long. But give me a second. I'll just edit it, of course, so you won't see it. But I'm going to build a different deck with a physical attack as a focus to kind of show you how that looks, where you actually are increasing attack and like building up your strength. So let's go to that. I'll be right back. All right, and I'm back. Let's see what new things I have. So first of all, I actually didn't get as many physical attacks as I wanted, but I still made a physical deck. I kind of cobbled one together in the 15 cards I drew. I've got 2 of these ceiling cards, because those were pretty great against a lot of the bosses last time. I've got another one of the ones that cancels the final attack, and then I've got this one you did not see, and it's useless against magic attackers, but look, I gain +3 defense until the end of the turn. So like for those people who attack me like a bunch of times physically, this could be great. And then for my physical attacks, so all of them to save physical attack. Remember, that just attacks with your current attack value, which is increased, once each time you use that 1 breath control card. But this one, I can pay 2 to attack once, or 3, because it says you can replay it for 1 more, to attack twice. So that can give me like a double attack for just 3. This one is a limited card, so it's only 1 use, but I do a physical attack, and then combo is not the keyword they use in the official rules, but the basic idea is if I deal at least 1 damage, I get to do the bottom effect. Against the solo, it means I can cancel any action of my choice for their next turn. So I get to kind of mess them up and deal some damage. And then here's my coup de grace, if I can survive long enough. For 5 costs, I do a physical attack that ignores their defense. So assuming I've boosted my attack a whole bunch by that point, I could just totally crush them. And I've kept them uses I already fought out. Again, there's 20 of them, so you could go through 4 entire sets of 5 gauntlets and not face the same ones at all. So, like, nice variety. Let's see who it's against. Okay. This is, like, the hardest boss in the game. I don't know if this is a good... Okay, so she acts right after me. Her defense increases by 1 every turn, so... I can sort of stay ahead of her. She hits me for 4 magic damage every turn, and the bottommost one is not good, so blocking wouldn't even help that much. And if the muse's life falls to 0, it revives with 2 life and loses its ability until the end of the turn. All right, well, we're going to try. Oh my gosh, until the end of the turn, so it's not even that, like, 1 time she revives, I have to, like, deal 2 extra damage over her. Whatever, we're gonna make it happen. We're gonna make it happen, because I believe in hope and dreams, baby. All right, so, voltage 1, and yep, we're just gonna do our little forging technique. Again, I forget what the actual name is in the real game, the real translation, but I get +1 attack. Useful! Well, I gotta at least keep pace with her defense. All right, then she comes in, she gets 1 defense. She's hit me for 3 and then 1. All right, I'm at 2 voltage. I think this time, here's what I think I need to do. I'm going to do that to get the 2 attack, because again, I just have to. And then I'm going to play my sealing 1 to seal away her 3 attacks. So again, she'll hit me with both attacks this time, but next turn she'll only hit me with 1. Hopefully I can seal her again after that one. So I'm going to buy myself some time here. So yeah, her defense goes up to 2 again, staying just equivalent to mine. And then she hits me for 1 and 3, so I'm at 7. But I am sealing away her 3 attack. So only the 1 is going to get me next turn, but she's still going to increase her defense and hit me for that 1. All right, my turn. I get 3 voltage. I get 1 thingamajig. So I'm up to 3 attack, but I don't have any attacks that are cheap enough to make that useful. I mean, I could do this to do a single damage. That doesn't really seem worth it. I think I've just really got to save up for my Sword of Finality that'll ignore her defense. So yeah, with my other 2 mana, I'm going to seal her again at the end of this turn. And what the heck, I'll also cancel the 1 damage. I mean, might as well, right? All right, so on her turn, she'll increase her defense to 3. The 3 attack will be canceled, and then the 1 is canceled by this card. So I actually take no damage, and then I seal her again, so she'll only do 1 damage to me next turn. I'm definitely doing a decent job, at least buying time. Okay, so I go to 4 voltage this turn. I'll increase my attack, and oh, she's already sealed. which means I don't really want to hit her with the machete because I don't want to like double seal her best ability. I guess I could seal away her defense increase. Should I do that? No. Okay. So what do I have? I spent 1 to increase my attack. Oh, so I've got 3 left. So I'm actually going to do Dancing Blade, and I'm going to do the 2 cost and then the 1 cost to play it again. So it's only 2 damage because my 4 attack is only 1 over defense, but I mean, anything could potentially help. I don't know if it actually helps, but it might help. All right, and I've sealed her big attack this turn. She goes down to there, and that goes away. I'm totally going to die. I'm totally going to die. All right, I go up to 5 voltage, and I'm going to boost my attack to 5. Oh, and sorry, she did go up to 4 defense. I'm at 5 voltage, but I can't play this because then she'll just blast me. So I'm going to play my 1-time used one, the machete. So I hit her for just 1 damage, but it's enough. I'll seal away her 3 attack again. So on her turn, she goes to 5 defense, and she does 1 damage, which means I can survive 1 full round of attacks, but I need to survive a lot longer than that. Yeah, this is not going to happen. Well, I mean, I guess I haven't used any reserve yet. All right, so let's use some reserve. Instead of hitting her with my Sword of Finale, even though that's really what I want to do. All right, so 2. Ooh, this attack cannot be responded to, and I can use this over and over again because neither of these, and that's another physical attack. This one would just 1 time give me +1 voltage. No, so I think this is the best. All right, so I've still got 4 voltage left, which is more than I think I need. So I'm going to go ahead and go again. So yeah, I've still got 2 more after this. Oh, here we go. I can cancel her big attack again and hit her. Or heal. I mean, the healing basically buys me an entire turn. This buys me less than a turn, but does a bit of damage. And that one just cancels her weakest attack. See, I think the healing is the way to go. I think. I didn't increase my attack yet this turn, did I? Yeah, so I think I'm gonna heal. I still have 2 power left, so I'm at 9 life now. And all these are out of the game. I'm just moving over here for now. Okay, so I've got, what did I say? 2 power. So I'm going to increase my attack to 6 to keep up. I'm going to play my free attack card, and that's all I can do. I only have 1 power left, so I can't play anything else. Or anything useful, I should say. All right, so she's down to 11. Then her defense pegs up, and she blasts me for 4 again. So I've got, again, 1 entire round. But I think I win this. I think I win this because I'm going to 7 voltage. Follow along with me here. I'm going to spend 1 to increase this. And then I'm hitting her for 7, ignoring her defense. So she's down to 4. Then I'll play my free attack for my reserve. Again, you can keep on playing these. And it can't be responded to. Just does 1 damage. Oh, wait, no, I'm not going to... What I thought would happen is I could use the not responded to card to finish her off. Because then she wouldn't get to do like her little revive. But she revives with 2 life, not with 1. Which means if I like attack her with the Sword of Finality first, she'll go down to 0, go back to 2. This won't be enough. Okay, crud. Okay, that's fine. It's fine. Maybe it's fine. I don't know if it's fine. These come back. She's hitting me. I'm down to 1. I mean, she's at 7 defense. That's very important. If she wasn't, I could definitely kill her. So, go to 8. Can I do this? I need to increase attack so I can actually get past her defense with anything. So that leaves me with 7. Wait. Ooh, Sword of Finality. So that does ignoring defense. She takes 8 damage, goes back to 2. Oh, yes. I have exactly 2 power left. Dancing Blade, I can't attack twice. I can attack once, which gets her to 1 life. Then here we go. What a clutch card this was. Obsidian Blade, I don't even care about the not responded to because she already used her revive response this turn. It is just 8 damage versus 7 defense. Boom! Beat her! And how much should I use? Only 6 out of my 15 reserve cards, 2 out of my 5 draws. It's not terrible. It's not the worst. So we'll call it there and get to my final thoughts on the game so far, my impressions. But yeah, that was just kind of to show you how like a more a physical attack focused deck would look. Now, I've also had physical attack decks where I have like 3 or 4 very cheap attacks, and I just like slam them over and over again multiple times a turn, especially when their defense is not going up every turn. So yeah, the game can play very differently. Again, this is just with 1 of the 5 decks, with just 1 of the solo modes. So like the cards would change if I use a different deck. The bosses would change entirely in the mechanics if I use a different deck. But yeah, enough about that. Let's talk about Blade Rondo and how I feel about it. So the big caveat I have to start with before I say anything is that, again, I've only played 1 of the decks. That's all they had available, and it's not even like the full translation. It's like somebody else's mod that translated it from Japanese earlier. So, everything with a grain of salt here. but I have read the rule books. They sent me the rule books for the other 4 sets, so I've seen how the other solo modes work. And it seems really interesting. Like, instead of these kind of repetitive bosses, you have bosses that have a unique row of cards every turn, and they activate the first one the first round, then the first 2, then the first 3. So they kind of build more than, well, some of these bosses build, but some of them don't. So they have sort of like a natural build. There's another one that plays like random cards from a deck, more like an actual player. There's another like entire set of these kind of like mini bosses, but they have increasing tiers instead of here where you have kind of like the hard and the easy mixed together. So it's kind of like a pyramid like way of fighting, and you like build up to them. So it seems really cool. The solo, it seems really cool. And by the way, I haven't mentioned it all. Like, of course, One Stop Co-op Shop, we're covering solo and co-op. So solo is the main thing I've played, but I have played the competitive game, and it's really fun. I mean, the big thing is, like, my favorite of these kind of duel-based fighting games are Exceed and BattleCon and the upcoming Sakura Arms, which, yeah, they all happen to be from Level 99. I kind of love their stuff. Well, I guess Sakura Arms is ported over from Japan as well, like this one. But yeah, those ones, they're definitely, like, meatier, and you have more unique characters. But in this one, you have kind of the fun. It actually is more like Sakura Arms in that you're like kind of building your combo, which I think is really fun. And all I played with is 40 cards, one of the 5 possible decks you could buy and like combine. And I think you can even mix them together and stuff. And that's been varied. Like, even I hope you saw in the like 2 quick plays I did that like my physical deck did things differently than my magical deck. And then I've had other decks that do things very differently from that. So the possibilities of like other builds seems really cool. But again, you know, compared to like Exceed and BattleCon, these are not like unique fighters with unique mechanics. And also, like, you don't have the movement, you don't have the range, but there's a way streamlined, like simpler, quicker game. My competitive games of this have taken like 10 minutes. I played it multiple times with one person, and yeah, we just like played game after game after game, trying out different decks, trying out different builds, like bluffing each other. So I will say briefly, even though I'm focusing on the solo, that the competitive seems really fun, and I can only see it getting better when you like throw different decks against each other. Like if I use the Blade Rondo set, but somebody else uses like the second set, we'll have different cards kind of matching against each other. Should be cool. But yeah, this solo mode, the one I've played, I think is a lot of fun. I mean, there is the chance, as you might have seen, that you get a boss that is totally a pushover to your build, which that one doesn't bother me too much, because you're going through 5 bosses. If one of the bosses takes 3 minutes or 2 minutes, because I just can go blam, 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 and like run through my engine and it works, that's totally cool. It's not quite as fun, like for the 5th boss in my gauntlet run, it's not quite as fun when the boss is just like kind of totally adjacent or opposite of your build, or like doesn't work with your build. But that's where I love these reserve cards. Like, this is a great choice. The fact that they're free or, you know, semi-free is really cool. The fact that you can get like really big like powers off, or kind of like address, it's almost like the like sideboard in like Magic the Gathering and old things. And I just find it really interesting because it does give a bit of variety to your build. Like, this is potentially another negative of this solo mode specifically, although kind of the game in general, it does have like the thing that once you've kind of built your 7 cards, your deck, you know, sort of plays the same way each time. Like I was, you know, for this last deck I did, I was building towards Sword of Finality. It was literally the Sword of Finality. It was like the last thing I was doing. Now, if I play the game again, my deck would have a different build. It would have a different engine, but you are kind of running the combo you have created. So while that's a potential complaint against the game, I think these reserve cards and like having to use them to address the inadequacies of your deck is like super cool in this boss mode. And I don't think they have the exact same thing in the other boss modes, but again, in the other boss modes, the bosses are more dynamic, so that should be interesting in its own way. And the other stuff is cool. Like, the power management is more or less interesting, sometimes depending on your deck and sometimes depending on the boss. Like choosing when to bump up your defense, it's like a permanent boost, but sometimes, you know, it's not entirely worth it. When to bump up your attack, which cards to spend, which cards to choose in the first place. It's an interesting tactical puzzle. Is it, you know, drastically interesting? No. Again, the game is so fast, but that's why I like that the solo mode is like 5 quick fights, because none of them is maybe meaty enough. And again, even in my competitive plays, one game wasn't really meaty enough. We played like 2 or 3. This is a game that is so fast that you want to play a series, right? Or I guess just like throw one down at lunch hour or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. I like, it does sort of feel like your deck combined with the boss becomes a unique puzzle each time. And even though there's not that much randomness unless you go into the support deck, I still find that puzzle interesting. And yes, sometimes it's fast, sometimes it's slow, but I don't know. I've really been charmed by this one. I mean, I thought I would be. It just seems like kind of a game up my alley. And, that's full disclosure. I like these card-based combat games. I've designed a solo mode for Exceed and BattleCon and Sakura Arms, unofficial. So, clearly this is my jam, but I gotta say, as somebody who's worked a lot to design solo modes, at least this first one I played is super great. Like, it would be so much easier to play this with physical cards. I do have to say that. TTS is kind of annoying with it. But yeah, when I can just like throw down my deck and play through like a little gauntlet of 5 in like 20 minutes, that's awesome. And the idea that with other sets, I can try out entirely different combos, entirely different like types of attacks, and yeah, try out these different bosses. I'm very excited for this one. I don't know what the price is going to be yet. I don't know if they're going to do a combo deal where like the bundle is cheaper for all 5, but if it's not too crazy, if they don't already like offer me a review copy, which I would love if they do, but I don't want to assume. But yeah, I think I'll buy all 5 of them. Like, I think I would want that full kind of mix, but I don't know if each set is like 10 or 15 bucks or something. I could also see somebody just getting like just this set or just like the boss that kind of appeals to them the most. And it's great fun. I mean, I've played this one set on TTS with not great TTS implementation between competitive and solo like 15 times already, and I'm not bored. At some point I want another set. I don't want to just play this one forever. But if I had bought this, I would already feel like I'm starting to get my value out of it. So yeah, I think there are things that'll bother people. I think like the kind of feeling of just running your combo might not be fun. The chance of like getting a, bad reserve draw or a bad boss doesn't like match your strategy. The feeling of maybe like repetition, like you're doing the same thing against multiple bosses. All those could be potential negatives that would, many of them, be improved by buying more than one set. But yeah, that's kind of how I feel about this one. I'm very excited about this. Is it going to be like a top game for me? Top, like Exceed? Probably not, but Exceed, takes longer to set up and is a little bit more intimidating for people to play. Like, I feel like I could just throw this down with whoever, and even if they lost in 5 minutes, who cares? We just play again. So, yeah, I think this has a place in my collection. And if you don't own every of those fighting games like I'm talking about, then it could have a much better place in yours. Yeah, so that's Blade Rondo. Thanks again for watching. I hope at some point I'll get a physical copy of it, and hopefully it crowdfunds well, so I can. But I hope I get a copy so I can do another video with a different boss mode and like what the actual cards look like at some point. But for now, go check it out. It's on crowdfunding on Tuesday, not today, on Tuesday. Check out the launch. I'll have a link in the video description. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I'll see you at the next stop.